Chelsea remain unbeaten as City face a crisis. Lewandowski extends his record run. Mané joins Liverpool's 100 club. A transfer roundup. Plus this week's Emoji Mondays, all coming up on today's OneFootball Daily News. As I'm your host Angelina Kelly, let's get into it. So first up, and Chelsea have managed to extend their unbeaten run to 5 games now under Thomas Tuchel as they got a deserved victory over Tottenham Hotspur. Now the first half of the game, Chelsea didn't actually manage any shots on target. However, the second half of the game, they were a team transformed as they managed to score 3 second half goals. The Blues managed to open the scoring just 4 minutes after the second half began with Thiago Silva, who managed to head the ball in from a Marcos Alonso corner. And then second half substitute N'Golo Kante, who definitely made a massive difference in the game, managed to score his first goal in 49 league appearances, although it did take a massive deflection from Eric Dyer. And then it was Antonio Rudiger who managed to score the third goal in injury time. Now the scoreline did not reflect the fact that Spurs did start the game very brightly and they were arguably the better team in the first half. However, it just wasn't meant to be for Nuno Espirito Santo's team as they actually only managed to record 2 shots on target throughout the game and didn't really provide any response whatsoever to Chelsea going ahead. Meanwhile, Chelsea in the second half, like I say, it was a completely different team as they managed 10 shots on target in the second half alone. For Chelsea, what this means is that they are 100% contenders for this competition. They are one of 3 teams that remain unbeaten in the league, the other teams being Liverpool and Manchester United. However, one team that is not there unbeaten is Manchester City, as they actually had quite an underwhelming weekend as they got a 0-0 draw with Southampton, and now Pep Guardiola faces a real challenge. The manager is facing potentially a mounting injury crisis. The likes of Ilkay Gundogan, Rodri, Aymeric Laporte, John Stones, Alexander Zinchenko all could be injured as Manchester City have 3 important games ahead now in an 8-day period. On Tuesday, they welcome Wycombe Wanderers in the Carabao Cup to the Etihad Stadium. Then they will travel to Chelsea for the Premier League at the weekend, and then 2 days after that fixture, they face PSG. So Guardiola is going to need as many fit players as he can possibly get. Next up, and Robert Lewandowski proved exactly why he is one of the greatest goal scorers in Europe, if not the world at the moment, as Bayern Munich managed to get a 7-0 victory over Bochum in the Bundesliga. Now yes, the player has been linked with moves away from Bayern Munich consistently over recent weeks. However, he proved why he is arguably their greatest asset, as not only did he play an important role in their win over Barcelona in the Champions League, but he also, through the game at the weekend, has extended his run to scoring in 19 consecutive games for Bayern Munich. It was Leroy Sané who kicked things off, scoring the first goal from an excellent free kick, with Joshua Kimmich also contributing with 2 goals. However, despite great performances from numerous players, the Poland striker's second half goal meant that he has become the first player in the Bundesliga to score in 13 consecutive home games. And according to some reports now, he has scored in every single Bayern Munich game that he has featured in since the 15th of February. Elsewhere in the Bundesliga, keeping up with Lewandowski is, of course, Erling Haaland, as he managed to score 2 goals in Dortmund's victory over Union Berlin. They almost came unstuck, but of course did manage to get the 3 points. And now Haaland has actually managed to score 7 goals in 5 games. I cannot wait to see who actually finishes as top goal scorer in this competition. Meanwhile, Inter Milan returned to the top of Serie A as they got a 6-1 victory over Bologna. It was Lautaro Martinez who kicked off the goal scoring thanks to a great cross from Denzel Dumfries. He has now scored in his 3rd successive league game, and I'm sure that Inter Milan fans will be very happy, especially considering the rumours that Martinez's new contract is getting close to being a done deal, allegedly. However, for rivals Juventus, they did only manage to get 1 point as they drew with AC Milan. And of course, all eyes were on PSG as Lionel Messi made his home debut for the team. PSG did end up getting the win. It was actually Mauro Icardi who had to come to their rescue. Messi did get subbed off and did not look happy at all. It wasn't his best performance, but by no means was it his worst, but his reaction wasn't great. He refused to shake Mauricio Pochettino's hand, according to some of the images that we've seen. Not great sportsmanship. At the end of the day, it's only his 2nd league game, and I'm sure that we will eventually see some goals from Messi. Next up, and over the weekend, Liverpool had another 100 club to celebrate. Of course, last weekend, Mo Salah managed to score 100 Premier League goals, and this weekend, Sadio Mané celebrated, scoring 100 goals for the Merseyside team. Now, not only did he reach this significant milestone for the club, but he managed to do it against Crystal Palace. There's something between Sadio Mané and Crystal Palace. He just loves scoring against them. He has now scored in his last 9 Premier League appearances against the club, a run that stretches back to August 2017. No other player in the Premier League has managed to achieve such a feat, and even when he was playing at Southampton, bouncing, he still managed to score against Crystal Palace. And now his tally is 13 goals in 14 appearances against the team. Absolutely insane. Now, of course, Liverpool had no trouble adding to Mané's opening goal, as of course Mo Salah and Naby Keita managed to seal a very comfortable 3-0 victory at Anfield. Now, of course, most people do tend to look to Mo Salah as the prime threat in front of goal for Liverpool. However, Mané has managed to score 100 goals in 224 games, which works out as a rate of just under 1 goal every 2 games. Absolutely amazing. And this may not be the only 100 club that Mané is joining. Of course, like I say, Salah managed to score 100 Premier League goals last weekend, and Mané is currently on 98, so it looks like he will be joining his teammate in that club, alongside Raheem Sterling, who actually has 97 Premier League goals, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who has 87. Now, we may have to wait until next season to see Ronaldo surpass the 100, but looking at his form at the moment, he could actually reach that before May. And now we have our transfer roundup. This is where I take a look at some of the other news and transfers going on in the footballing world. And first up, it seems like Bayern Munich are one of a few teams that have got their eye on the USA men's national team player Ricardo Pepi. Meanwhile, for Manchester United, according to Fabrizio Romano, the club are in direct contact with Jesse Lingard and his father about a new contract, as he's one of the players on their contract list, including the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba and Luke Shaw. And over in Italy, it looks like Inter Milan are set to try and get Milan Skriniar to commit to a new deal. The 26-year-old's current deal expires in 2023, and they're hoping that he will sign on the dotted line, as reportedly this is now a priority for the club. And finally, sadly over the weekend, the news did break that Jimmy Greaves has passed away. The 81-year-old was Tottenham Hotspur's all-time leading goal scorer. He also played a role in helping England win the World Cup and has scored the most goals in the English top flight with 357. And now we have Friday feels. Of course, on Friday's Daily News, Matt gave you guys his predictions ahead of the weekend's fixtures. You guys also gave us your predictions, so let's see who got them right. Jits_10 predicted that Chelsea would get that 3-0 victory over Spurs. Jayata Steele did predict that Juventus and AC Milan's game would end in a 1-1 draw. And Anne Morg successfully predicted that Harry Kane and Lionel Messi would not find the back of the net over the weekend. And now we have Emoji Mondays. This is where we stick a few emojis on some of the weekend's action. And first up, best player, I'm going to have to go with N'Golo Kante. He completely and utterly changed that game for Chelsea. He completely transformed the momentum in midfield. He helped them win that battle in that area of the pitch and just had an amazing performance. Best win for me has got to go to Real Madrid's 2-1 victory over Valencia. Not only did it keep Real Madrid unbeaten since Carlo Ancelotti's return, also it put them at the top of the La Liga table, and for a neutral, it was a very nail-biting, exciting game as Real Madrid managed to score 2 goals in the final 4 minutes thanks to Vinicius Jr. and Karim Benzema. Worst player for me has got to be Henry Lansbury. It was a game between Luton Town and Swansea City that saw Lansbury completely clatter Swansea player Ryan Manning. How he didn't get sent off, I'm not too sure. I think he claimed he went for the ball. He didn't even touch it, and the fact that he walks away with a yellow card, he was very lucky indeed. So that's it for today's OneFootball Daily News. As always, check out all the other content that we've got here, and until next time, I will see you all later.